Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So in the last lecture we studied about different types of cells. Did you draw the diagram of dry cell? Okay, you have to study what are the positive poles and the negative poles. Okay, now we will start with the next, that is magnetic effect of electric current. Now what do you mean by magnetic effect of electric current? First of all, you should understand what is electric current. Electric current is the flow of electrons, flow of charges. Okay, positive and negative charges. Basically it is the electrons which is flowing. So the flow of charge, flow of electrons, that is electric current. Through which part is the electrons flowing? The electrons are flowing through the wire. Okay, the electrons are flowing through the wire. You should understand that the electrons in the wire are flowing. Okay, now here what they have done, this was the experiment done by this scientist Hans Christian Ørsted. He was the scientist who first found out that there is a magnetic effect for electric current. Okay, there is a magnetic effect for electric current. Now what do you mean by that? Basically, first of all, I will tell you what do you mean by magnetic effect. When the electrons are passing through the wire, that means when the current is passing through the wire, for example this is the wire, if the current is passing through it, this wire can act as a magnet. Okay, all of the wires in our houses are also having magnetic effect when the current is flowing, but we cannot feel it because it is very less. Okay, it is very less, so we cannot feel it, we cannot see the effect. Okay, but we have to understand that when the current flows through the wire, the wire can act as a magnet. Okay, that is magnetic effect of electric current. This was discovered by Hans Christian Ørsted. This was the experiment done. He had taken a box, a small box. In that small box he had kept a magnetic needle. You know about a magnetic needle. And he had wound the box with wire and connected it to a circuit. Connected it to a circuit means he had connected it to a battery or a cell, and this is the key, the switch. Okay, the plug key. Okay, the switch. Now when you switch this on, it was seen that this magnetic needle, it will show deflection. It will show deflection. Okay, that means this deflection. Okay, this magnetic needle, it will show deflection like this. Okay, now if this cell, okay, this is the positive terminal, this is the negative, this is the positive, this is negative. If it was reversed, that means if this was made positive, negative, positive, negative like this, that means if you change the direction of the battery, then it was seen that the magnetic needle, it deflected in the opposite direction. Okay, it deflected in the opposite direction. So it was seen that when the current was passing through the wire, the magnetic needle got deflected. When the current was not passing through the wire, the magnetic needle remained as it is. It did not move. Understood? I repeat, when the current passes through the wire, the magnetic needle moves, and when the current do not pass through the wire, the magnetic needle does not move. Now why does the magnetic needle move? When will a magnet move? When will a magnet move? When another magnet is coming near it. You know about like poles repel and opposite poles attract. Okay, now when the current is passing through the wire, in the wire the poles are developed, and due to the like poles and unlike poles, the magnet will show deflection. This is called as magnetic effect of electric current. It was discovered by Hans Christian Ørsted. You have to understand this concept very clearly. It is there for you in your 10th standard also. Okay, now we may move on to the next topic, that is electromagnet. Okay, electromagnet. Now what do you mean by electromagnet? Electromagnet means the magnet when it is a magnet when there is electricity. When there is no electricity, it is not a magnet. Okay, for example, they have taken a nail, they have wound the wire. If you are just winding the wire around it, it cannot act as a magnet. But if you connect it to a cell, you are connecting it to a cell, then this can attract pieces of iron, or it can attract small pins. It can attract pins. Okay, it can attract small pins. Why? Because when the current is passing through the wire, this magnetic effect, okay, the wire is acting as a magnet, due to which this iron will start, the iron nail will start acting as a magnet. That is called as electromagnet. I repeat, electromagnet means there is magnetism when there is electricity. When there is no electricity, there is no magnetism. Okay, that means here there is a nail. They have wound the wire around the nail. It is connected to a cell. Okay, when you are switching it on, the current will flow. When the current flows, this wire will act as a magnet. That due to that, this nail will act as a magnet and it can attract small pins. Okay, consider you are not attaching it to a, connecting it to a cell. There is no cell. If there is no cell, it won't act as a magnet, okay, and it cannot attract pieces of iron. Okay, it cannot attract pieces of iron. So this is called as electromagnet. So the system of coil and the screw is called as an electromagnet. There is a coil and there is a screw. Okay, this not necessary it should be in the form of a screw. It should be in the form, it could be in the form of a cube, cuboid, okay, an iron core, it is said so. Okay, so this is an electromagnet. Where are they used? It is used in electric water pumps, doorbell, loudspeaker, radio, etc. This question, this part is not there in the textbook, but you may write in your textbook on the page number 26 towards the end. You may write and keep. Okay, so where are they used? They are used in electric water pumps, doorbell, loudspeaker, radio, etc. Now we will see the textbook, page number 26. The second paragraph. This means that magnetic field is created when an electric current flows in a wire. Hans Christian Ørsted made this observation first. Briefly, we can say that when an electric current passes through the wire, a magnetic field is produced around the wire. You may underline that last sentence. When an electric current passes through a wire, a magnetic field is produced around that wire. Now the last magnet, last paragraph you may see, the system of coil and the screw is called as an electromagnet. You have seen various uses of electromagnet in 6th standard. Electromagnets are used to produce strong magnetic field used in scientific research. Okay, now the next topic is electric doorbell. Okay, we will see how an electric doorbell functions. First, you may mark this much in your textbook. Now we will study the working of an electric bell. I have drawn the diagram on the board. It is in the textbook on page number 27, figure 4.8. This diagram is asked. You have to learn the diagram. Okay, you have to learn the diagram and the working also. The question is there in the exercise also. You have to learn it. Okay, it is a 5-mark question. Okay, now we will see what is the working. Now in case of an electric bell, this is a normal electric bell, not the electronic ones, but the normal bell. Okay, electric bell, doorbell. There is a gong like structure. Okay, so cycle bells you might have seen, there is a gong on which the striker strikes. So like that there is a gong. Okay, that is the bell. Now this is a connection. There is a connection. This is a cell or the electric supply. Okay, it is a positive terminal and the negative terminal. when the key is on. When the key is on means when we are switching on. Okay, when we are switching it on, the current will flow okay, from positive to negative, from here till here. This is a contact screw. This contact screw is just in touch with this strip. Iron strip and contact screw are just in contact with each other. They are not screwed. Understood? They are not in they are not joined together. They are just in contact with each other. Okay, so the current will flow from here to here, from here and here, and like this it will flow. Okay, I repeat, the current will flow from positive, from here through the contact screw, from here, then here, then here, then it will flow through these wires. Okay, and flow through these and come back. Okay, this is the flow of current. Now what happens? This is a horseshoe magnet. When it passes through an electric part, then this will act as an electromagnet. It will act as an electromagnet. So when this acts as an electromagnet, what will it do? This is an iron strip. This is made up of iron. So this magnet will attract this towards itself. It will attract it towards itself. So what will happen? This is a spring attachment. It is a spring attachment. So it will move towards this. When it moves towards this, it will strike on the bell. Okay, it will strike on the bell. As soon as it moves, consider it is changing its position. It is moving like this. Okay, it is moving like this. It has become like this, and it is striking. It is striking on the bell. Now here you may see it has lost the contact. It has lost the contact. When there is no contact, the current which is flowing will come and stop here. It will come and stop here. It cannot go forward because there is no contact. Okay. Now when the current is not flowing, that means there is no current, no current, no current. That means this is not an electromagnet. Okay, this cannot act as an electromagnet. Now when it cannot act as an electromagnet, this attraction is not there. Okay, that attraction is not there. So what will happen? This will come back to its original position. It will come back to its original position. Okay, and the striker, it will come back to its original position. As soon as it comes back to its original position, again there is contact. Okay, again the contact comes, but the switch is on, continuously on. Okay, if you are, unless and until you are putting it off, if you are putting it off, it will, the whole function will stop. But if this is on, then this action, it will go on like this. It will go on like this. Understood? It will go on acting like that. That means when this acts as an electromagnet, it will ring. When it is not acting as an electromagnet, it will come back to its original position. Again, when it acts as an electromagnet, it will ring. Again, it will come back to its original position. So this striker does like this. Okay, so that is with the help of this electromagnet. That is one application of electromagnet. This is the working of electric doorbell. If you are having a question on electric doorbell, page number 27, in the paragraph with the heading electric bell, you have to write from a copper wire is wound around an iron piece. Okay, so this blue which I have shown, it is an iron piece. This coil acts as an electromagnet. An iron strip along with a striker is fitted near the electromagnet. A contact screw is in touch with the strip. The electric circuit is connected as shown in the figure. The current flows in the circuit when screw is in contact with the strip, and hence the coil becomes a magnet and attracts the iron strip towards it. Therefore, the striker hits the gong and the sound is created. However, at the same time, the contact screw loses the contact with the strip and the current in the circuit stops. So in this situation, the electromagnet loses its magnetism and the iron strip moves back and comes in contact with the contact screw. The electric current is then immediately restored and again the striker hits the gong by the above process. This action repeats itself and the bell rings. Till there you have to write. Okay, it is a long answer question. You have to learn. You can reduce it into smaller points, make your own points, but all points should be included. Okay, have you understood the working? If you're having any doubt, you may ask. Now I have left one part of the portion in your textbook. I'll teach you that now. I had left this part on page number 25. Okay, that is connecting cells. How to connect the cells. Now you studied about what are the different types of cells: dry cell, lead acid cell, nickel cadmium cell. Okay, in all those cases you have seen that there is a positive terminal and there is a negative terminal. Now what is the function of the cell? Why do we connect a cell to the circuit? It is to provide potential difference. Okay, the function of the cell is to provide potential difference, a high terminal, that means a positive terminal and a negative terminal. Now when you connect the cells, if you need a more potential difference, then you may connect 2 or 3 cells together or more number of cells. So that is said to be a battery. That connection is said to be a battery. So what is a battery? A battery means it is a connection of 2 or more number of cells. What is the purpose? Why is it done so? It is to increase the potential difference. Now here you may see there are 2 cells which are connected to each other. You may see the negative terminal of this cell is connected to the positive terminal of the other. This is the way it is connected. Okay, the negative terminal, this is the first cell, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. The negative terminal of this cell is connected to the positive terminal of the other cell. Okay, now here if this is of 1 volt and this is also of 1 volt, then the total will be that the total potential difference will be 2 volts. Okay, the total potential difference will be 2 volts. Now in this diagram, in which direction will the current flow? The current will flow in this direction. Okay, the current will flow in this direction. And what will be the flow of electrons? The flow of electrons will be from negative to positive. I had told you earlier in the first lecture also, the flow of electrons is from negative to positive, but the current is said to flow from positive to negative. Okay, so the flow of electrons, they have shown in the diagram, the flow of electrons is from negative to positive. Okay, but the current is flowing from positive to negative. Okay, now these are 4 cells. Now how will you connect these cells? These are the 4 cells. How will you connect these cells? The positive terminal, I will show it with another color. The positive terminal of this is the positive, this is negative. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Okay, so when you connect it, you have to connect the positive to the negative, positive to the negative, positive to the negative. This is how you will connect it. It has given in this positive is then connected to the circuit. Okay, now you may see it is given on page number 26, figure 4.5. How will you connect the cells? Now there is a use your brain power question there. You must have seen the car battery available in the market. It is called a battery and not a cell. Why? Why it is called a battery and not a cell? Because there are multiple cells in a car. Okay, the answer is there in the notes. You may write the answer from the notes, but we will discuss. Okay, because a car needs more potential difference. So only single cell cannot provide that much of potential difference. So many cells are used. And a connection of multiple cells, it is said to be a battery. That is why a car's cell is called as a battery. Okay, So we have finished with the chapter. If you are having any doubts, you may ask. Learn the question answers very thoroughly. Understand electromagnetism very thoroughly, because it is there in your 10th standard also. Okay, thank you.